Hey everybody, it's Jeff Antoniuk. Welcome to the brand new 4th jazz video series. This is called Digging Deeper. I'm so glad you're here. So new in this series, as opposed to the first 3 series, what I want to do is take some of the elements of the last 40 plus videos that we've done, and I want to start integrating some of that material into songs, into real music, jazz standards. I want to pick an idea, a concept, a device, whatever it is, and then apply it to a particular tune, very often just a portion of the tune. And that's part of the digging deeper part. So this will be different than some of the past videos that we've done. I personally use songs and tunes in my personal practice and in my teaching. That's how I build everything, is based on actual music. So that's how we're going to proceed with this particular video series. I'm going to take the name of the series actually pretty seriously too, Digging Deeper. And if you've tuned into some of the past videos, especially the Advanced Jazz Learning Technique series, you know that I am big on focusing, really focusing ideas, and the analogy of trying to dig deeper holes. I don't want to dig 25 shallow holes in my teaching or in my practice. I want to dig 1 or 2 deep holes. So that's part of why this is called Digging Deeper, to get very specific into some particular ideas. And a second idea might be sort of like an actor digging deep into a role, sort of getting emotionally connected or finding out what their motivation is or what the core is that's going on, digging deeper in that way. And so you know that these videos are geared towards teachers, jazz professionals, and adult amateurs. And I think that's going to be important too. When we really know what our motivation is, why we're working on something, that's going to be how we move forward. So I'm very excited about this series, Digging Deeper. So most teachers, in my estimation, dispense far too much knowledge. They just pour the knowledge on, and it's more than the student can handle. And very often, I've just seen it so many times, the teacher isn't aware in the moment that the student has been overloaded and flooded a long time ago. They don't check in the moment, or they don't check back the next week. They just pile on more information. So that's the antithesis of what we want to do here. I think I've spent probably much of my life half understanding things. And I'm a smart guy. You can ask me. I'll tell you I'm a smart guy. Ask my mom. She'll tell you I'm smart. So coming from a smart guy, I half understand stuff. And that's not the way it should be, right? So it has nothing to do with intelligence or any of that. It has to do with the pace that the information is coming. So in digging deeper, that's what I want to do. I want to, again, take very specific bite-sized chunks, but that we can get a ton of mileage on. This is not dumbing it down. If that's what's rolling through your mind, this ain't it. This is making things more pointed, more specific, more enactable, not less so. So that's the idea. Let's dig in here. So a new concept. I've worked with all sorts of students, and these can be hotshot grad students or all-state students, or of course lots of adult amateur students. And there's always this misconception, I should say, that the technique is the problem. Somehow there's a mechanical issue of me being able to do something, or the student being able to learn something. It's a finger thing. It's a technical issue that I have to work through. That's a misconception. That is almost never true in my experience. So the bottleneck, what is going on? The bottleneck, what's keeping us from learning and expanding, is between your ears. It's not your fingers, it's between your ears. Sorry to say. It's brain stuff. Processing speed. So, especially with my adult students, I have folks with diminished lung capacity, and they can't, on the saxophone, play a long phrase, let's say. Or folks with like really kind of serious arthritis or injuries or all sorts of things you can imagine, and they come in explaining to me, oh, I'm not going to be able to play that fast song because of this, this, and this. I was going to say almost without exception. I'm going to say without exception. That has not been the case. That when the brain is giving the fingers good information, even the old fingers, the arthritic fingers, all that kind of stuff, somehow things come to happen. So the bottleneck is in our thinking. So that's something I want to offer you today, and we're going to sort of develop from there. So here's the good news with that. You do not need your grand piano with you to practice this stuff. You don't need your saxophone. You can be on vacation without your bass, because it's a lot of mental practice is possible. So that's what I sort of want to give for you today. So now here's your assignment for the week. As we go ahead through the Digging Deeper series, I'm going to be working on specific ideas on specific tunes. So now to make that doable, we're going to be talking in numbers a lot. So for instance, the major scale, the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? If I want you to play a minor sound, that'll have a flat 3. If I were going to give you the recipe to the blues scale, I would say that that's 1, flat 3, 4, sharp 4 or flat 5, natural 5, flat 7, 1. So that's the language we're going to use for a couple of reasons. One reason is that people are watching these videos. Thousands of people are watching this all over the world, playing French horn and flute and alto sax and trumpet and anything else, bass clef instruments, concert instruments. So speaking in numbers will be an easy way to communicate what's going on. Second reason is that every good jazz musician I know is able to do this. This is sort of the language of how we talk to each other in jazz, is with these numbers relative to a key area. And this is people that are very sort of analytical approach. This is obviously a sort of an analytical approach, but these are also for people who are very intuitive musicians and have fabulous ears and depend on their ears. They know this way of speaking. So the assignment to you, the challenge to you, if that's new, thinking in numbers, that's what I would like for you to do, to sort of get up to speed for what we're going to do. And it doesn't have to do with Jeff's video series. This is to become a good musician in general. So things like, as you're practicing scales, practice a D flat major scale. Do you know what the 6th scale degree of D flat is? What is the 6th note? Do you know what a flat 9 is in the key of F sharp? Those sort of things. You don't have to learn all this by next week, but I want you to start thinking that way with the numbers. All right, so that's going to be a great thing that's going to take you forward. And again, this concept of the bottleneck for most of us is getting things straight in our brain. So this number system is going to be very helpful with that. So welcome to the Digging Deeper series. All the other videos that follow are going to have a lot of playing and a lot of very specifics with tunes. We're going to be talking about form and harmony and chords and scales and feel and articulation, all the things we've covered in past videos, but applying them now to specific songs and specific music. So thank you for being along on this journey with me. I love all the communications and phone calls and emails and everything. I love hearing from you folks. This has been wonderful, and I'm looking forward to more of that. So if you haven't, please subscribe to Jeff Antoniuk Educator on YouTube. And you'll always see these videos streamed live on Facebook to begin with, and they get archived on YouTube. So that's where to find us. You can always send me an email at jeffantoniuk@gmail.com, or you can get me Facebook Messenger. So thanks again. Welcome to Digging Deeper, and looking forward to seeing you next week. Take care.